We are here at Now and Zen episode 103, and today we have certified extraterrestrial Tachy Bunker. Hello, Tachy.
Hello, Stephen.
It's so great of you to be here to grace us with your presence. How did you get started with microtonal music?
Oh, yeah, okay. So I started making music in the December 2019, like composing. And I think after maybe 4 or 5 months, I was starting to feel like there is not enough. So I just tried to discover on Wikipedia, on other platforms, what was possible. And then I just stumbled on microtonal music. So I just made my first 5 video song in like 5 or 6 months after starting making music. And
Yeah,
then it was just the rabbit hole, of
right.
course.
You just kept discovering more and more.
Yeah, only ever doing microtonal music when I can because I think it's important to be free.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also am struck by how developed your approach is because I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of the tunings that
Yeah.
you're using are tunings that people get to fairly late. Or, like, I would expect someone like
Oh
you
yeah.
to have a period where they had written in 12 EDO for like 5 years and then switched to microtonality. But you've essentially just come right out of the gate with microtonal tuning systems.
Yeah, I mean, I also have wrote a lot of music in 12 video. In my hard drive, I had a sort of analysis, and I figured out that I had made about 3,000 songs. So it's a lot of unfinished ones, of course, but about maybe 25% or 40% is 12 video.
Wow, that's truly insane to think about. And I assume that the 12 EDO ones aren't released as Tachy Bunker, but maybe they might be released somewhere else under
Yeah,
another alias.
yeah, they are still up on my SoundCloud from and it shows from Anuman.
Are all of those songs like I also am interested, of course, genre wise,
Hmm.
interested in what you're doing. I don't know how much of a knowledge you have of different electronic genres, but it seems like you're blending a lot of them together in a very specific way. Maybe like someone like Sevish would. Do you have any particular influences, or are there any genres that you're trying to emulate, or do you just kind of do your own thing?
Oh, I have no idea. There's the Yeah, I think Sevish is a good example of a similar person to me in the love of electronic music, electronic dance music specifically, and trying to make the sound go crazy with it.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to emulate a really specific sound in the macro discography, like in um, in my entire discography. I don't care if I'm one genre or another,
Hmm.
which can be problematic sometimes, but it can also help. Um, for example, at some festivals or some events, I could uh, I could basically submit my art to go play there as a metal artist or indie piano artist or world music because I do throat singing,
Ah,
and
yeah.
it's so it's very cool to have also a lot of different genres. There was someone one day who really struck me because it was very funny to me. It's more funny when I see the reactions of other people to this. He said something like, "My music is Ethiopian tribesman, Tuvan throat singing, non-diatonic, psychedelic jazz fusion, polyrhythmic, Indonesian hyper funk step, bossa nova core, harsh noise, IDM, and stuff." And he kept going about the genres. So I
That's
don't know. I just do whatever I want. Yeah.
right. I get a lot of really bombastic, exciting gestures from your music, and
Oh yeah.
also a lot of rhythmic intensity. How
Mhm.
exactly do you perform your music? I got to see this at Untwelving, of course, and be a part of it, but it would be really
Yeah.
good to explain it to the Nouns In crowd, like kind of what your whole setup is, because it's quite something.
Yeah. So I have a. So technically, it's just me and like as a voice and my audio interface, so my computer playing backing tracks. But I'm building this kind of like animation. Um, so something you would see, for example, at a circus or something else, and it's a shaman throat singing instructions to dance weirdly and psychedelically to the music. If I don't know if this is clear.
Yes.
I like to make people come and perform as well. Like you've seen this. Screamed into the microphone,
Yeah.
and a lot of other people. It's I go into the crowd and I'm not on a stage because the stage is the audience.
Right. So
Yeah.
I gather that you're very passionate about instilling a primal reaction in people. Could
Yes.
you
Yeah.
go a little bit into what that means for you?
Primal reactions. For me, it's something I'm studying even more these days because of Exomusica. Um, but I really like the idea of there's no specific technique that's outside of the brain. Like for example, if I tell you a major chord, this is happy, minor chord, this is sad. I hate this, by the way.
Yeah, same.
It's it's a consequence, and I like to think about the primacy, the primal vision of why exactly this sounds exciting or not. And this is so far removed that you cannot even say that any specific technique injects primacy. So it's something I'm trying to find out as I go. Maybe a lot of times I fail, a lot of times I succeed. It's just it's unexplainable for me for right now, but I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I completely understand that feeling because there's a ton of music where you can get people to dance and move, and
Yeah,
there's so many ways you can be experimental with that
yeah,
where like the average person or maybe even musician would be convinced you shouldn't use it. Like,
yeah.
tempos slowing down and speeding up, for example. That can
Yes.
be part of the dance, and you demonstrate that in Cosmique.
Yeah, it goes from like 1 and 40 BPM with 5/4, and then goes down with 7/4 at like 20 BPM. And then goes up a lot to, I don't know, to 200, 300 BPM.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's no technique that's really off the table, but I think if you combined a lot of techniques in a way that was designed to be hard to follow, you would lose
Mm.
that sense of being primal. And like all of your music is really, really danceable, even though it has a lot of experimental qualities in it. So I hope you take that as a
Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things I really like about listening and making music is the ability to dance, to connect it to the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the more difficult songs to get the audience to participate to? I wonder if you have any
Oh,
thoughts on like which
in
ones
my
invite a lot
discography,
of enthusiasm.
in my discography,
Yes.
or okay, you mean which ones are the least or most danceable too?
Oh, I guess I am curious about both. Sort of
Oh yeah.
extremes, I suppose.
Oh wait, let me bring up my Bandcamp so I know which ones are released.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
because I'm trying to remember, but there's a lot of songs that I play that are unreleased as well. Um, so there's a new album I'm trying to make with someone called Terra, and we're making this virus core thing where it's
Yeah.
where it's basically just viruses corrupting and torturing your computer. Meanwhile, the music is coded in C into it. And so I'm making remixes for it, and I think those are really good because they're simple. But probably, I think there's a difference between the simple dance and like very extended dance stuff. I like Métastase du Temps or like Spiders from Space Movement 1 because it has this 15/8 part that I can make the audience clap to.
Oh,
And
right. And you did
yeah,
that at Untwelving.
yes, I did that at Untwelving. It was one of the first songs right after the sort of ambient microtonal thing that happened, like multi-dimensional thing. But yeah, so this Métastase du Temps is really good for making people clap in 15/8, even though they wouldn't understand it, most people. There's also like Serre Cosmique, of course, because the accelerating and decelerating with the motion is really, really, you have to get into it in your whole artist body in order to make the other people feel it, and that's really cool. That's you cannot half-ass it.
Right.
And yeah, I guess my worsts are probably the ambient songs. Rightly so, yeah.
Oh, because they would naturally have kind of a slower vibe, so it's harder to get people to dance to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why my like most of my discography is kind of fast, and yeah, it's what Tachy means.
Ah, so tachy means fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind of like
Like
tachyon.
yeah, like tachycardia, tachyon, other stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Ah, that's great. The song in 15/8 really
Yeah.
enjoyed clapping along to that because, like you said, the
Yeah.
audience doesn't understand. I felt like when I was clapping along to that, that
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how it was broken down, but I could feel it naturally. It's so hard
Yeah.
to make a song like that because usually if you
Yeah.
feel it, you can explain it easily if you're a musician, and if you can't feel it, then it's hard to explain. So it was really nice that
Oh, yeah.
you managed to engineer a disconnect between those.
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians when I play this song, they just they can clap to it, but they wouldn't be able like after 15 minutes of trying to do to count it, they weren't able to find it, and that's probably because of the different pulse. I'm using something like 3-4-3-2-2 something, but the snare is actually doing 5-5-5, and I think that's what people yeah, that's what people are connecting to, the 5-5-5.
Oh, okay. So it kind of, would you say maybe then it sounds like it's in a big 3 that's subdivided into 5?
Yes, that's probably it. But the 3 is actually offset from the bar, like first pulsation. So it's also kind of it's simple and how do you say simple and yet not just so basic that it's obvious.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's wonderful. Is
Yeah.
it, would you call that micro rhythm?
I've used a lot of weird metrics and type signature changes, but I wouldn't consider having done a lot of micro rhythm yet. I know that there's a lot of note programming, like when I write music in the DAW. There's a lot of nudging and imperfection, like engineering, and I would maybe call this micro engineering more than the time signature itself.
Ah, right. I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We sort of talked
No
about
worries.
how you started in your first song that you did was in 5,
Yeah.
and some of the tuning systems you're using are really, really high limit, just intonation and
Oh yeah.
polysystemic happenings and things like that. And what's your rationale in using that sort of tuning? Are you really interested in a lock and ring, or is it easier mathematically for you, or do you like it stylistically? What informs
Mm.
your tuning choices, I guess, is really the question I'm asking.
I just learned about some tuning methods, and then I try to find a new theory to bounce myself off and try to just make custom tunings this way. It's for example when I stumbled onto primodality by Zia Eros. You probably know it.
Yes.
Yeah, primodality is just taking harmonic segments and treating the first harmonic of the segment as the root. So it may not be one or two or four, but it gives it a different kind of sound and buzzing. And I really liked using this. Also, for example, Lamplight from Japan.
Yeah.
She she made this shasavistic music theory stuff, and for you it must feel really new, but for me it was in 2024, so it's only 4 years after I started making microtonal music. Yeah, so it's pretty
24.
much
Oh, you
yeah
when you were
20,
24.
no 2024, that's when Shaftafata was released.
Oh, wow, that was 2024. That feels like
Yes,
2025. That's crazy.
yeah, exactly. For you it must feel new, but for me it's actually like it came at 70% of my musical journey, maybe.
Ah, right. Like, so you're saying that you saw that
Yeah,
video at kind of a foundational time, and that maybe even sort of got
yeah.
you into the shasavistic cult, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, that's it. And then also, of course, the porcupine stuff, and trying to also do tuning morphing. And nowadays, a lot of the tuning stuff I would not be able to do without the software, because the software makes me able to do all this dynamic tuning, like changing 30 times in one song or something like this, uh, stretching it, shifting it, only stretching a part of it, also snapping to ratios to specific prime families, but only for this one part. So for example, it's a comma change, like you have a melody da, 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 and then the second time the melody appears is da, 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 but a little bit less obvious than what I just sang. So
Yeah, like the last
I
note.
like, yeah, I just like to do whatever and just think in terms of this sounds good or this doesn't sound good enough for primalcy. It doesn't have to sound consonant to me to sound good. That's also the one of the things.
Right. I think that's a really important element. So I guess
Yeah,
for you, the a lot of those choices are rooted in wanting to have an interconnected logical system while also being able to
yeah,
switch a lot between tunings dynamically.
yeah. I think the having a system for tunings is just it just makes me lazy if I'm being honest, but it also is makes the composing workflow faster because I make tunings on the fly. Like when I'm starting a song, I don't have a tuning before. I just make the song, and as I go, I change the tunings and stuff.
Do you ever build scales entirely by ear without knowing what the mathematical ratios are?
I would say everything I'm doing is by ear, like only the most basic stuff, like the harmonics until like the 32 is what I know by the mind and the memory.
Right,
But
right.
after this, I don't really have a instinctive. Oh, this ratio will sound like this. So it's almost entirely by ear.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I gather
Mm.
that you are also not afraid to use a lot of notes in a chord. What's
Oh
the
yes.
Oh, it's sorry, I think I'm remembering it. I think it's
Okay.
circle of 37ths, right?
Oh
Then
yeah.
I
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
play
yeah.
yeah, then I played a synth run in. There's this part where you go like Whoa! I can't do the throat singing. And yeah, you're doing that and there's a big chord that's being built and
Yeah, yeah.
somehow it's 19 limit, and it kind of sounds like it's major with a bunch of extra high notes in it, but it doesn't sound too dissonant, but yet it's got a lot of notes in there. I would be really
Yeah.
curious about the sort of the content of that structure, like if it sounds really consonant because it's primordial, or if just about any collections of notes done that way would sound that consonant to you, or like that kind of
Mm.
thing.
I would attribute the thing to being. I would attribute the consonantness, like the not too drastically bad. I would attribute that to it being just intonation, and also high register probably. But it's only 37 limits.
It's Circle of
Yeah,
37s.
yeah. It's 37 limits, but it's 19 tones in the scale.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I almost forgot it. The tones are pretty linear and simple in a just intonation general theory, I guess. I try to put a lot of the tones together, and there's a big gap in the middle in the part that you're talking about. This makes like a gap for me to sing it inside of it, and there's a static bass under. And so when you have static bass, a gap, and just high register just intonation, you only hear the just intonation notes as a timbre and not really a tone
Yes.
for me. Yeah. So it's more of a sonic block, kind of like the fractal timbres that we're doing with someone else right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're using it as part of a timbral thing, kind of like a spectralist would, but in the context of like
Yeah.
having a particular chord.
Yeah, it's basically spectral music, even
Right.
though it's not. Yeah,
Oh, go
there's a
ahead.
sort of weird. How do you say, like genre locality when we're talking about stuff like this, like spectralism. People think 20th century.
Yes, it's quite odd the associations one can draw with all of these things. Do you think there's a maximum limit to the number of notes you would ever
Mm,
allow in a chord if the notes are not sounding like they're part of a timbre?
mm. Probably, probably the only limit would be the software.
Ah,
Because
beautiful.
because we're trying. So when I was talking about fractal timbres, I think this is gonna be where I'm gonna have the most notes simultaneously. So you probably met Astra
Yes.
3,
Yeah.
and so I had an idea with him that was, what if we had fractal recursion, but for timbres, be it harmonic or not, and basically find a way to first with Surge or Serum, or just like brute forcing it to using the harmonic series, we put a saw wave on each harmonic, so it's a big buzzing chord, and then we sample this and we try to put like again the sample into all of the notes of the harmonic series plus the additional harmonics. So it's basically trying to replay the timbre as many times as possible, where the last timbre had a partial harmonic. And so now Astra 3 is creating a synth that has this really simply usable, and we will be trying to make an album with it for Exomusica. So I think this will probably land in the millions or hundreds of millions of notes per chord, something.
Oh, right. If you're thinking about all of those harmonic series notes buried inside on,
Exactly.
if you're treating them as roots. but I do feel like there might come a point where there's some notes you don't hear.
Mm.
In these really dissonant situations where each
Yeah,
note can get treated as its own thing, I've resorted to trying to isolate each note and then hear it in the mix and make sure I'm able to
mm.
hear all of those notes so I'm really getting the complex quality that I need. Is
Yeah,
there going to be anything dynamically tuning involved with that situation that you mentioned? Because in my mind it seems like maybe something that's been done with the harmonic series but maybe
mm.
not to as an extreme degree or not done to as extreme of a
Yeah,
degree.
yeah. I think it's gonna be. So your question was how. Wait, your question was how to make it different than what's been done, or what is
Well,
it?
I guess my question is, yeah, how is it different from what's been done, and will there be
Okay.
any dynamic tuning or timbre changes involved in that project?
Oh yeah, for sure. Where it's this so the synth he's developing is MTSESP compatible. So that's already quite powerful for me because I'm very big user of MTSESP. So dynamic tuning, yes, check. And the difference will be in the simply in the extent of the recursion. There's a lot of the timbres inside of the fractal timbres that are possible just because you can also offset the parameters just a little, and then the fractal recursion will do an extreme difference in sound
Ah,
because it just
yes.
stacks on top of each other. So we'll also do in harmonic tunings, we'll also do stretching harmonic series. We'll also do different waves, so not just saw waves, and etc. And I mean, I could play you. I have some examples if you want, and the
Oh,
sound
cool.
is really alien.
Oh, I would love to hear that. I think that would be just wonderful if you'd like to play any of those sounds.
Yeah. Okay, let's try. So
Yes, I got it.
okay. And that's it.
Wow.
And this is
Wow.
just a little sample of what is possible with fractal timbres.
That's incredible. That has a an extremely peculiar sense of space. Like I think
Yeah.
somehow the way the frequencies are shifting, I feel almost like I'm moving forward and sideways at the same time.
Yeah. It's also a very different kind of sound. Like sound designers and synth developers, they're all usually you see these pictures of people saying, "Oh, this is the new sound. This is the future of sound," and at the end, it doesn't really sound that different. And I feel like this is sounding very different.
Oh yeah, that's really different. Yeah, I think when people say that something sounds different, usually they mean that whatever they're hearing is fresh relatively in the zeitgeist according to
Mm.
the pieces they've picked up along the way.
Oh, true, true. Yeah. But I haven't heard anything like this sound before. And when I'm trying to think of the only people or only music that I know that has this kind of exploration, I'm thinking only William Cetheris maybe, and that's it probably.
I mean, it's funny. Some of those chords with the high, like crazy notes, kind of remind me of the Emoji album a little bit. And then
Yeah,
I've heard
identical.
some music using noise also that kind of like has shades of this level of complexity, but
Oh
isn't
yeah.
in this context.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, of course, noise music would be. I love noise music as well. It's one of the genres. I don't really have a how do you say a threshold for what music is supposed to be or not supposed to be.
Right.
So noise music is all in for me. Yeah.
And I think that's very healthy and honest and refreshing in today's climate because you
Oh
see people
yeah.
saying that things aren't music that are clearly music, and it's very
Mm.
strange because really anything can be music since it's just
Yeah,
organized sound.
even the term organized sounds for me is not really it's too exclusive
Right, yeah, 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 because
for
like,
me.
bird song, that's music, right?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's organized as well. So it's a different experience. Like, what is art for you?
Oh, for me,
Yeah,
well, I feel like it has to be imbued with something human because then
yeah.
it's real, and
Oh,
it's hard to approach that.
okay. Because for me, for example, birdsong is also art.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I
Yeah.
think of anything non-human as that artistic, but I think
Mm,
you can kind of approach an expressive quality that is
mm.
still really beautiful and wonderful to see.
For me, this question is very important because it defines what you want to do as an artist, and it defines the borders of what you will be willing to do as well.
Right, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Also, I'd find that when people use these terms to categorize, I mean, the conversation we're having is already more based in definitions than a lot of the conversations I've seen, if you can call them conversations. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I feel like a lot of people they'll say that something is not music just to say it has an aesthetic that they don't like or understand. So
Oh
they're
yeah.
saying that pejoratively. But like
Yeah. True.
if something is not music to me, I just don't consider it music, but that doesn't have to be bad.
Yeah. Same. Same. It's I also don't think of the bad music, or for example, music I don't really like. I don't think of it as non-music. It's just something different.
Right. Yes, truly.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
for showing me a glimpse into this exclusive project. This is really
oh yeah.
exciting to hear.
Yeah, the a lot of the Exomusica albums are very far into the progress, but they are not released yet. I have a special event I would like to do to release them.
Oh, that sounds great. So can you tell us about your other microtonal projects that you'd want people to know about? I know you have the Tachy Bunker projects,
Yeah.
which would of course include things such as Spiders from Space and other tracks.
The only one that's truly as big as this one, I would say, is Exomusica. So you've had a little taste of what it is. What did you understand of it?
Well, when you showed me that, I heard lots of complex pitch relationships, but I thought I was going to hear more sliding. But I was really
Yeah?
surprised by the qualities of the pitches because I feel like some of these sonorities were things that sounded like complex JI, like in some of Chris Otto's music, perhaps.
Mm.
But then there were some things that sounded like they wiggled a lot that were really hard to pin down. And the wiggly ones reminded me more of the Emoji album, and the static ones reminded me more of like complex JI that I had heard because I think it's really common for those sorts of complex JI chords to
Yeah.
be really static so that the person can be like, yes, this is really, really in tune, and you are very sure. But the wiggling is also a cool effect.
So you're talking about the fractal timbres thing I just showed you.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. And I'm also aware that Exomusica is sort of
yeah.
it's an experimental project where it's like music for aliens essentially, right?
I would say it's still music for humans. It's just the concepts are very far removed from today's main music.
So Exomusica has a decidedly more experimental bent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, what I want it to be is a platform for making accessible experimental music on concepts that are very well defined for each project. Even though you can pretty much use any concept in any genre, the main kind of sounds methods and generations are dictated by some kinds of where you are in the Exomusica project. So, for example, in what I'm trying to make right now is a website that's like a tree, and the tree is both a music lab and a forum. um, and these three have branches, and the branches are really just like any concept you can see. So, for example, you have transcoding ghosts, with just music that explores the transcoding artifacts. You have virus core, like we told before. You have fractal timbres. You have pareidolia suits. So music using only pareidolic effects, or no, I mean, not only, but as main thing. For example, the essential example I say is, what if a violin spoke English? You know,
Oh, interesting.
so that's pareidolia. And then there's also aquasonic music, so music that's made and recorded underwater. You have
Wow.
cymatic steps, so music that's essentially made to be visually good in the when you use it on cymatic effects. So if you play it on water, it makes cool motifs.
I've seen
Yeah,
cymatics videos, but with metal plates. Are those
yeah,
similar shapes?
yeah. That's ferrofluids. So that's magnetic cymatic.
Oh,
It's not similar shapes, because the ferrofluids, they don't have to entropically go back to like a static form. They can just stay in the last shape that they were for a long time.
oh wow.
Like water flows, and ferrofluids don't have to.
Right. It
Yeah.
the interests in Exomusica are so broad. It's
Oh
drawing
yeah,
from
yeah.
so many different places. I love it. It sounds really big and overwhelming in a good way.
Yeah, kind of. I wanted to be kind of the a repository of just people come in and explore new kinds of music, like a video game.
Would you say it's open to anyone who wants to join?
It's very open, and so now it's on Discord, but it will be going elsewhere on the it will be going on the official Exomusica website, because there's I don't want to lose the progress, and I feel like when we're using all these like services that are handed to us, like Discord, YouTube, or something else, it's it's a little bit weird being at the mercy of them. It's a little bit risky.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to build the independent platform, and that's where everyone will be at. And yeah, it's open for everyone, just to chat, just to brainstorm, just to make music. Even we even have researchers and people who make plugins, so that's very useful.
Oh yeah, and they can get in on all the microtonal adventures. Is there a
Yeah, yeah.
specific is there a specific release date planned for any of the Exomusica albums so far?
The first Exomusica album was actually released by me in January of 2026. It
Oh,
was
okay.
Otoacoustic Poems, a red album cover. It's using Otoacoustic tones, so different tones and some tones. When you use two tones at the same time, like 100 and, for example, 500 and 600 hertz, your ears are gonna make a different tone and a some tone. So you would hear in that context 100, because
Oh,
600 minus 500 is like 100. And so this album is using this concept to make melodies. So I'm not making melodies by saying, oh, I'm doing 500 and 700 and etc. I'm using the difference between multiple tones to create the melodies.
wow, that sounds incredibly technical, but I'll bet you've got ways to do it that are helpful shortcuts.
Yeah. I definitely I'm thankful for Surge and MTS ESP basically.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah,
say I mean, you use a variety of tools. What what kind of DAW
yeah.
do you use, and what synths do you use the most often? Do you feel like you can rely on them for most of the experimentation you'd want to do?
For sure, a lot of the experimentation is just rooted in FL Studio and a couple of microtonal like environmental foundations, like the MTS ESP stuff. Although it's not always, I use it like practically 99% of the time. I would say my like in the future, I'm really excited about a new DAW that a friend is coming up with. Do you know Donut Studio? Maybe.
Hmm. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, it's a DJ called I mean not a DJ. It's not a DJ called Zero Action, but he's called DJ Zero Action for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's making this DAW that's like incredibly accessible and also packed with features that I've never seen anywhere else. So, for example, it has a just intonation piano roll. Like, for example, how cool is this? You have you can instead of having a scale in a tuning file and then writing on the piano whatever you assigned the note to be, now you can just say in the piano roll, I just want 5/4 here and then 103 over 67 and then boom. Or you can also do drawing shapes, so it doesn't have to, like you can draw I don't know, a Flappy Bird and then just intonicize it using any primode you want.
Oh, is it like
Yeah,
a spectrograph?
this can work as also a spectrograph. You have polyrhythms generators. You have also it's not just a DAW, it's also a video editing software, for example, for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like you can link how the notes are there to the how the video is like what it generates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
That's
even
incredible.
create. Yeah, you can even create Lua scripts to make it more personalized to what you want.
Wow. I don't even know what a just intonation piano roll would look like.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it would be some sort of image that looks pretty normal, but then when you branch out into other
Hmm.
pitches, somehow the visual changes. I don't know.
Yeah, I can just show a little bit here if you
Oh,
want.
sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
For example, here you have a little collection of notes. You can create another one. So for example, here you see I have a little set scale with a specific notes when I hover over different pitches. So I think you've seen this. So for example, here is 5/3, 45, 32, and this is linked to this note. And
Oh.
when I move it, you see also the pitches are moving a little bit, just slightly. And
Do
it's
they
all, yeah,
they move vertically in space to match how many cents they are?
yeah, exactly. It's a very micro piano roll thing. And then
Wow.
when you selecting notes, for example, I can press L and now they're all linked. So for example, I can do this. I can do Alt and then here change the ratio. So I enter 11/8 and it changes to 11/8 compared to this note. And this is how it works.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's truly amazing.
Yeah.
I've seen some of these features in parts in different places, but never all together. Like I've seen,
Yeah.
like Kite
Yeah.
Goodritis, for example, has figured out how to use MIDI channels to make it so that you can fit a bunch of notes onto one piano roll and micro adjust the notes so that there aren't like 41 blocks per octave, but 12 per
Oh yeah.
octave with micro variation. But
Oh yeah.
never like, yeah,
Yeah, it's like the how do you say the HPI instruments. They have a
HPI.
universal, yeah, HPI. They have a something, I don't know how it's called. Like it's not a Xen tuner. It's not. It's like micro synth or something.
Is it the universal tuning editor?
No, 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 no. It's micro synth or something. You can
Yeah.
you can have 2048 note scales. And
Wow.
it's also using this kind of MIDI hacking and stuff.
Right,
But this is
exactly.
yeah, but this is native, and you can play also sound phones. Uh, he's he's added the VST3 support, uh, but you can probably think that in the future there's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of possibilities and ease using all those tools.
I
So this
think
is probably what I will use in the future.
wow. I think that JI tuning interface is one of the only things I've seen that really makes tuning JI chords easy. And I can imagine
Mm.
someone who just wants to get into it casually using it, which is really saying something. It's so hard to create something like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
that gets around all the difficulty of what you have to do mathematically.
Yeah, exactly. You just put a note and then you put another one.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. And
Awesome.
it's also when you're talking about the technology of microtonal music,
Yeah.
it's always I feel like if you're not digging a lot, you will think that it's very limited. But there's really insane software that is coming up maybe for I would say every month
Yeah.
that gets only like 40 users or 50 users, and it's a kind of a shame. Yeah,
Right. We're kind of living in a golden age of microtonal software, I think.
yeah, probably. I mean, it's the start. I would say,
Right. Yeah.
but it's a good start.
Yeah. Quite a good start. More people messing around with it than normal. You know, in your
Yeah,
performances, you have you and the computer, and there's that
yeah,
awesome banner you have, and the lights, really give it an
yeah.
extraterrestrial shaman kind of vibe. And I wonder if you would. I know that I played one of your songs with you, and Philip Gerschlauer also
Yeah.
did at Untwelving. Do you envision yourself performing with people a lot, or like a group, or basically doing a solo act and having guest stars play some songs here and there?
I already play in a lot of bands, but it's mostly 12 video bands.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's my situation too.
yeah, yeah. So I would like maybe to make more microtonal bands. Maybe it's if it's possible. But I think the one thing about the Tachy Bunker project is that the songs themselves are very accessible to an audience, but for a musician to try to learn them, they're very, very, very complex. And I've often tried to make some people come in and play, and like I would say a big portion of them just say this is gonna be too complex, like for the long run.
Ah, that's too bad. Yeah.
You know the concert I did on Untwelving had only 1 hour of runtime, but it's probably gotten like 350 time signature changes, for example.
If you're
Just a
keeping
little
track of them.
statistic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I keep track of them just because I made them. Like but it's difficult to learn. So if someone is up for a challenge, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. You've also started a cosmic cult. So, what do we
Yes.
have to do to join? And do we have to speak any special languages?
Hmm. So the cosmic cult is the cult of the Orbisators, but it will be linked to the Exomusica collective.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it. I'm trying. So basically, the reason I'm doing this is because you do you remember the Church of Satan, maybe?
Yes.
So it was a very big collective in the 20th century, and I discovered on lurking on Wikipedia that the leader had made albums of music.
Oh, yes. Somebody told me this.
And when he made these albums, it was like so I don't know how to describe it. The art itself became so much more meaningful because you had all this history linked to it. You
Right.
know, all these people, all this lore. and everything. So I would say I have a big lore, but it's for now the people are not yet. It's not a lot of people that are connected and truly being active into it. And I want this to change because this could be something meaningful artistically and yeah, just as a life experience.
Yeah,
I would
totally.
say it's yeah. I would say it's probably better to come in with an open mind in the art sense.
Right,
Because if you're just liking pop music, rock music, and stuff, you will not be content
right.
here probably. Uh, but yeah, the when it's launched, the Exomusica website will have a section just for it.
Oh, delightful. What's the
Yeah.
name of your language that you created? Is it Glyptopian?
Oh, the conlang is Chelorian.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like shasavistic, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I used the shasavistic font that Lamplight made because it's one of the most alien and weird fonts that I have.
It's a great
but
font.
it's a different language. I'm actually making a new font with someone to so it will be completely custom to the language.
Oh, wonderful. I hope we get to see
Yeah,
more
yeah,
of you performing. I always look forward to your performance videos.
yeah. The N12ing ones isn't yet released, but I'm having trouble a little bit with all the videos that were there and posted, but and filmed because it's one of the performance that I had a lot of bad luck with in terms of recording and the organizing. But I would say it will come out soon. It's different. It's always a hassle to trying to record the performances because you feel like you're when you're in the moment and asking someone, "Hey, can you film this?" It's it's like you're making them unable to benefit of the entire experience.
Oh, right, because you're not fully present if you're using your phone. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or not even your phone. But yeah, I mean that's why I think I don't really like, the seeing all these new lives and then there's just when there's something cool, someone whips out their phone.
Right. Yeah.
It became like a automatic reaction. Oh, it's also I've asked a lot of people about this, like a survey. When you record videos in concerts and stuff, how many of them really went back and watched those videos? And it's probably I don't remember the number exactly. It's probably around like 15% that only 15% only of people that really watch their videos back a few times more than
Right.
like just posting on their story and stuff. Yeah,
Right, yeah, because I'll record some things and sometimes I'll go back for isolated performances, but
yeah,
if I post something on social media, then I just look there because then it
yeah,
engages the social media nonsense. And I also will record
yeah.
videos to show people as well, generally.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, recording for yourself and recording different concerts is different. I would say. Yeah,
Yeah. Anything else you wanna go over?
maybe the shasavistic world with lamplight.
Yes. Yes, let's go over that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting new world for me.
What would you say the world has meant for you?
I don't know. For me, it's kind of a really interesting way to make chords accessible. When I posted a lot of the Shasavic chords on Instagram, for example, a lot of people just saw the chord and they said, "Oh yeah, the colors and stuff. It sounds like this. It makes sense." And this is something I think is really powerful in this day of kind of you don't have to explain the people this is 7/4 and how you get 7/4 to translate to sound you just show them a color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And there's a certain angle where you can dress it up with the right music to accompany it and show the chords educationally as you play the music. So it's not just here are a bunch of dry chords and what they are.
yeah, exactly. I have a big project called Microtonal Education 101, just some big video that I'm trying to make, and it's gonna be trying to encompass the workflow of making microtone music and also why, and also the technicalities. So it's a big video. I'm trying to do. Do you remember the Sevish video from like 2017 or 16, where he said
Yeah,
how to make microtonal electronic music?
it's like electronic music tutorial. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this was good. There was also a lot of weird, I mean, weird, not weird, but raw conferences that are just on microtonal music, and maybe they just showed how to use a SCL file and stuff like this. But there is a lot of demand when when I post microtonal music and stuff. There's a lot of people who come DM and just say, "How do you get into this?" Like there's no manual, and I want to do the manual because it would be helpful, I think. And
Yeah.
shastavistic diagrams. That's a really cool way to do it.
You know, the shasavistic diagrams communicate more quickly than traditional sheet music notation because you're associating
Oh
a color and a
yeah.
distance with the sound. And I think for the type of like internet culture that's a
Yeah.
part of, you can grasp a meaning more quickly. So it's really cool to see. And I also think that there are a
Yeah.
lot of manuals out there, but maybe people aren't satisfied with what they say or the amount of them. I don't
Mm.
know. Like, it's kind of like how you can find no shortage of videos saying how equal temperament is really out of tune because you can't tune perfect fifths and octaves if you stack them,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, there's. So the reason people can find information on that is because there's like 100 videos explaining what that is. And
Yeah.
each person just has to find the right one for them. And maybe if there are enough microtonal manuals too, likewise, we will see that, hopefully, start to be as widespread. And so people won't
Yeah, yeah,
feel
yeah.
like there's a dearth of them because they've felt that for a long time now, even though there's significantly more of them than when I started. Like Paleac has one, Brendan Burns has one, Zotla has one.
True.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to react to those, actually. Do a reaction
Yeah.
video like efficacy of microtonal manuals.
Oh man, the yeah, those videos I completely forgot about them, but they're really also their own vibe. Everyone, it's like a nerd tries to explain stuff, and it's not pejoratively that I'm trying to say this. It's just sometimes we're so into it that we forget how to explain it to someone who's never seen music theory even.
Right, yeah. For someone who's never even seen music theory, it might be really challenging, for
Yeah.
sure. It's true. And I have seen quite a few of them that try to get to the complex stuff pretty fast. Um,
Exactly. Because
so
they
I,
want to cover it all. Yeah.
right, yeah, exactly, because there's so much to talk about. When did you decide that you wanted to contribute to the Shasavistic space?
So the Shaftafata video released in October 2 or 15 something, 2024, and I just really like this thing. At some point, Lamplight became active on Twitter or X, and
Yeah,
we saw a lot of fan content happening. And so at the beginning of 2025, I started the Shasavik Discord, English Discord, which a lot of people joined, and eventually Lamplight joined, and then we made it a sort of official contribution. I've also collaborated with her and wanted to do some more music with her, but for now the times are really busy, so it's a little bit hard. But what I wanted to do and why I wanted to get involved in this is kind of the new crave of, okay, I see a lot of passion in this specific, I don't know what it is, but it's like Harry Potter meets microtonal music. It's like
Yeah, it's like
if you know what I
it's like
mean.
there's a fandom or like a mania about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really interesting. I've never really been in old fandoms of like, yeah, Harry Potter, Pokemon. I don't know what fandoms there are, but
Rick and Morty.
yeah, this is really cool to be in one for once. Like I'm part of a community.
Yeah. So I think my guess is you feel about the shasavistic community kind of the way that I've felt about maybe the microtonal community for some
Oh
time.
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
funny too because I feel like the microtonal community isn't like there are fans of others, but it's very hyper individualistic, and people there
oh yeah,
often have extremely specific interests, and the disagreements are quite strong. And so I don't think it's a normal fandom in that way. And probably the
yeah.
Shasavistic fandom finds really passionate people, but I'll bet there's even more of an interest in like languages and stuff like that.
I think that, yeah, that's probably the reason why I didn't connect first with the XA Zen Harmonic Alliance. I did connect a lot of individual people, but the way it's just so big. Like the if you don't go on the general channel for like 2 hours a day, you would never be able to catch up with everything, you know?
Wow.
So it's not really a community that's close knitted. I really like the way it feels like a village in the Shasavik diagram stuff, Shasavik world.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I don't know when I was in the Shasavik Discord and just doing a lot of project with others and seeing also cool stuff. The passion and niche, like shared niche interest, was so big and cool that when I came back to the XA and just tried to also interact, there was so little. I would say maybe not chemistry, but like I didn't have the same feeling of uh, okay, you're passionate about this, you're passionate about this, let's do something.
Right.
I didn't get this much in XA. It's more like we're gonna talk about this, but not do much together.
Ah, yeah. Talking versus
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. But
Totally.
it's yeah, but it's always not. It's always a little bit shallow to judge an entire community like this. You can just find people that are good in there.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's always lots to find. Where
yeah.
should we find your music online?
Oh, so I have a website that is tachybunker.fr because it's French,
Yeah.
and that's where all my links are. And there's also a newsletter, email newsletter on it. That's probably the best place to come and try to get news about my music.
Yes. Well, great. Well,
Yeah,
thanks so much for sharing your thoughts with us on microtonal music. And I think we learned a lot. And I'll
yeah,
see you later, hopefully sometime soon in the future.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
All right, great. You have a good one.
yeah. Have a good one too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The music you're hearing is Monolith Sagnon by Tachy Bunker. If you enjoy what you hear on the podcast, you can leave a review on iTunes and spread the word through social media. We appreciate all our supporters on Patreon, our Zen Harmonic patrons, as well as our Zen Harmonic gods: Jacob G., Peter Young, Naren Rattan, Matthew Sheeran, Hector McGovern, Christopher Bailey, Leland O. Weigel, Amy Coleman, Joe Weigel, and Tina Harmon Carto. Remember, If you're not already doing so, you can support the podcast on Patreon. The lowest tier is only $5 a month, and you get to support a great cause, promoting microtonal music in all its delightful forms. Link is in the description. You also get access to behind-the-scenes information on many of Stephen Weigel's microtonal projects, such as numerous transcriptions, covers, compositions, or other surprises, and of course, bonus episodes of Now and Zen. There are much more than 103 episodes. A little bit goes a long way, and if you support, you get to be a factor in committing to musical uniqueness and diversity at the table of ideas. I cover songs and get to transcriptions based on patron requests often. For example, girls just want to have fun in 21 tone equal temperament. Thank you so much for listening, and catch you next time on Now and Zen. Our next episode will feature Elaine Walker. For this Alien August. We had Tachy on Alien August, and now we're going to have Elaine on Alien August. Also, this track uses 3 different tunings at once. It's using 15 EDO, 17 EDO, and 31 EDO. Thus, it is polysystemic.